What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Hypocrisy, and this is your review for New Housewives of New Jersey, season 11, episode 2. So I decided to do this one live yet again. One, because obviously I have another review to do right after I actually need to watch the dang on Salt Lake City reunion after this. I might do that one live. I don't know. But whatever. We're here for this. So we pick up where we left off, and that is with the whole Teresa and Jackie debacle. Marge says in this, okay, so Marge talks to Jackie to ask her, okay, well, what exactly happened? She says, okay, she told me this. I used an analogy to show her how it would feel for someone to mention something so heinous about someone that is close to you. Now, Marge says in this group, there's two things you don't do. You don't use analogies and you don't talk on the kids. The use analogy thing is when she was speaking with, I believe her name was Iggy. I think it was Ziggy. And what's up, Watermelon Sugar? So when she spoke with Ziggy, I'm pretty sure that's her name, and they were going back and forth, and she has said, trying to do the whole, good person, bad person. And she said, okay, well, some people would think, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact quote, but something along the lines of, some people would think that Hitler was a good person because of blah, 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 blah. And Ziggy being Jewish, she felt that was, an anti-Semitic comment. I'm Jewish too, not by birth, but I'm Jewish too. I understood the analogy, but still, that is very much so in poor taste to say. So that is what she was referring to. And Jackie says, you know what? She won't be around her. Point blank, any period. So Teresa is home. She calls Melissa. She says to her, hopefully after this, she's not going to be your friend anymore. So here Teresa go with this whole thing of Melissa needs to be on her side about everything and everyone, but is not reciprocated and literally trying to sit here and drive this wedge. And Melissa ain't stupid because we've known Teresa to sit here and carry back bones that are either not true or they're half truths, the whole shebanga. So Teresa says she's only told her friends and feels strong women would want to know. So she must be weak. So saying that at the party, I only told my friends. It doesn't matter if you only told your friends. You were still at this man's party. Like, come on. Again, we know she ain't all the way there, but whatever. Teresa tells Melissa what Jackie said in an accusatory way. So didn't even say it the way that she said it. She said it in such a way that she said this about my daughter, meaning that when she said it, she meant that. And it wasn't that. It was, now again, how I would have said it. I would have just said it just to say it, just say he can give you a 2-piece and a biscuit right to the face. But Jackie did say it in such a way of, okay, let me use an analogy and let me try to give this to you in a way that you could understand it. Melissa is stunned and says she wasn't there and doesn't know how it was said. So then what happened? Haha. So then Teresa says there is only one way to say it. Again, really trying to. I don't watch the show, but I'm listening. It's pretty decent. It'll get your blood boiling. Not as bad as the basketball wives now. But she is pretty much driving it home, trying to drive this wedge. And what Teresa is doing is very, very, similar to what they do on the basketball wives of trying to sit here, ice somebody out. And on the other housewife franchises where you have to be on the side of the queen bee, or it's going to be problems either later that season or in subsequent seasons. And then she tells her, I almost blacked out. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. When she told you your whole damn jaw was on the floor, your face was cracked. Okay, we had to pick up the pieces. You actually left a few pieces on the ground when you left. Talking about, so she almost blacked out. The most you did was you called her a see you next Tuesday a plethora of times. That's all you did. And she says, this weekend, I'm going to cut her with my tongue. Pretty much meaning I don't have the words to attack her in the moment. So I'm going to sit here over the next couple of days, get my script together on what I'm going to say. And then I'm going to come at you. Ain't nobody stupid, Teresa. So we get Jennifer. She stops by her mom's place. They talk about her brother, the one that got married, and says pretty much when his wife gets her visa, they'll come back over to the States. And she calls the baby Brian when the baby's actual name is John, after the father, after their father, so Jennifer's father. The mom kept calling the baby Brian, and she's like, well, you know why I call the baby Brian, which I don't think that Jennifer is that stupid. I picked up on why the hell she called this baby by a different name. At first, I was thinking maybe Brian is another name for John, because you know, like Richard and Dick, those two names are synonymous, or Billy and Robert. Obviously not in this case. It's just she mad at her husband and don't want to use that name, and she begins to cry and says that he is very mean to me. Y'all didn't see what he put me through, pretty much saying that she shielded the children. And here's the thing: one, we don't know who said it, but because we live in a very misogynistic world, a very patriarchal society, where men are always believed over the women, in this instance, until I see otherwise, I'm going to, believe the mother. I'm just going to give her that. But at the same time, I don't care about this storyline, because this is nothing about Jennifer, and this is her literally using her extended family, not her immediate family, as a storyline. But I gave y'all that. What else? So we get Dolores and Valerie, who is her mom. Her mom has been living in an empty house since the pandemic happened. She had all her grandchildren in the house at some point in time. They don't want to be around her, and I think it's because her mother is older in age, and they don't want to bring it home to her. So they talk about, David and, plastic surgery. Dolores says she learned a lot of her habits on how she deals with men and whatnot from her mother. Cool, get it, got it. But with the whole plastic surgery thing, the mom was just like, okay, maybe he wanted to be there for you. Dolores don't want to hear, but they're still talking about David. And what I glean from this, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but what I glean from this is David checks off all these boxes. David is a catch. He may not be everything that I want him to be, but he's everything that I need him to be. And I want to keep this man around because he's a good catch. That is all that I'm getting from this, is that she's going to settle. That's all that I'm getting, that she's going to continue to wait and waste her good years waiting for him to get a case of the act right. Okay. So the girls pack. So we have the girls in all the different houses packing. They're all talking about the Teresa and Jackie situation. Melissa is talking to, tells Jackie, trying to reach her using her kids is not the way to go. We all know Teresa ain't that bright. So regardless of how you try to convey it, bringing up the kids don't work. But I can't understand how, if you get upset because she just brought up your child, why can't she be upset because you brought up her husband, regardless of what came afterwards? And everything that came afterwards is very heinous. And what I didn't say on my channel, but I said on Really Beast channel, the reason that it is also detrimental because he owns at least one gym. So if this gets out, i.e. some of the same ish that happened with Candy with the whole, Dungeon Gate, if this gets out, certain people are probably not going to want to come to his gym because they don't want to be associated with any type of debauchery. I don't understand how. Okay, I understand why Teresa don't get it. Never mind. Let me not tell the lie. So Frankie Sr. is with Dolores and tells her that, okay, well, while y'all going, I'm going to meet with David over the weekend. We're going to chat it up. And then she says to him, well, tell him, to back up about the surgeries. And I'm kind of looking like, sweetheart, the surgeries is the last of your concerns when it comes to David. But okay, do you, boo-boo. So now we're at Marge's house. Why is everybody sending messages and stuff? What the deuce? Oh, sorry. I'm gonna flip my phone on. I'm sorry, looking at my phone. I'm sorry. So Jackie tells Margaret she's not going with them on this trip. Margaret feels this is because Jackie isn't coming. This will be a good time for the girls collectively, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, to tell Teresa, you know what? You were wrong for what you did. You're wrong for what you said. Ain't gonna happen. Melissa is there and so Melissa and Jennifer is there. Melissa ain't featuring Jennifer. Just walk straight past her like, okay, you don't exist. Marge tries to tell Teresa when she finally gets there that she's wrong, and Teresa ain't trying to hear. Again, I don't even know why we trying, but okay. So now they're all on the bus, and we are now rehashing this beef. And what is so funny is Teresa did not want nobody to sit here and have anything to say about her and Joe. Focus on focus, y'all. I'm trying. But she did not want anybody speaking on her situation, but she is literally running with this particular situation with Jackie. And when we see the previews for next week, she also will be running with a bone in reference to Melissa. But The reason that she's doing it, and I'm gonna let y'all know right quick before I forget, she's doing that because she sees that Melissa's not gonna have her back when it comes to this Jackie situation. And every chance that Teresa gets, she finds a way to drive some type of a wedge, use a knife and just stick it in there. But when it comes to her brother and Melissa, that's all this is. But getting back to this, Teresa says women she know will want to know about their men. Yet when people try to come at you about Joe, you ain't want to fucking hear it. But okay, hypocrisy. Melissa says, unless you have receipts, I'm paraphrasing, we shouldn't even be talking about it. Teresa says, who gives a fuck? She can stand up for her man. That is what she was doing and trying to get you to sit here and say with a camera right on you, you know what? I don't know if it's true. My bad. I shouldn't have said it. But see, you want her to act ignorant and indignant and act like she don't have a lick of sense. No, you can do that. And for whatever reason, Andrew Booker Sugar Cohen has yet to sit here and put a muzzle on you, has yet to sit here and get you all the way together. But again, you and Jackie come from two different types of clothes. Why? Because she got money. She ain't how to sit here and lie and cheat and steal from people to get it. She ain't. Her father might have went to jail, but guess what, baby? She didn't go to jail, but you and your husband did. See, again, it's a difference here, but she ain't ready for that type of teaching. Shout out to James Colwell for that. What was I saying? So Teresa then brings up Jackie not giving her man a blowjob and how this could be the reason, and then says, has she been here this weekend, I'll be riding her harder than her husband. And here is the funny thing. Now, let me now I'm going to my phone for a reason because I need to pull this up. Hold on. I'm gonna try to show y'all, but I'm not sure if you will be able to see it. But Jackie said on her social media, when I was in the room, when I'm not in the room, I'll demolish her. I'm going to destroy her. When I'm in the room, goes out cursing and whining. I'm hopefully y'all can. This is what Jackie said. Truer words have never been spoken, or in this case, type, because you got all this energy, all this steam, and her only excuse is I didn't go off on her because it was Marge's house. That you a lie. No, you ain't go at it with it because you know if there is ever one person that will give you the smoke, give you the fever, hand clap. Oh, that's the way. Hey, or give you the. I guess I'll put this up here. I don't really use stream y'all like that. I'm still learning the the intricate pieces. Okay, but hey, Kurt Vixen. But yeah, she gonna be the one to give you the smoke and the fever. And the reality is, even if Jackie don't put her hands on you, Jackie gonna hit you with her and put your ass back in the pre-zone because you was in pre-zone. That's why you ain't finna do it. So now we get David and Frank there at the range. Frank mentions how he was injured on the job. He fell down a flight of stairs. It messed up the quads in his legs, and he pretty much was at a point to where he really couldn't walk. And he wasn't able to walk upstairs either. So David, because he has a bathroom on the first floor of his house that Frank kept built, David let him stay with him while he was rehabbing himself. Now, I'm going to just say this. Now, everybody on Twitter, this is what people on Twitter said. I ain't say it, but saying that Dolores, Frankie, and David need to come out with their throuple. I don't know about that, but here's what I'm going to say. Dolores, Black Dolores, sweetheart, I'm trying to figure out, okay, all right, because I need you to help me understand. How is it that your son, Frankie Jr., is staying with your boyfriend? How is it that your ex-husband who stays with you is staying with your boyfriend, but you are not staying with your boyfriend? Make it make sense. Now, again, Frankie and David, for Frank Sr. and David, they friends. I get all that. I'm just trying to figure out why the two men closest in your life, your ex-husband and your son, both the Frankies, is staying with your boyfriend, but you ain't staying with your boyfriend. Okay, all right. Anyway, so they talk about Dolores, and Frankie says, neither one of them are good at communicating, which they obviously aren't. And, the surgery talk comes up, and Frank even says, like, I agree with you on all of this. Everything's like, she could have had a health complication, and we understand this. Now, Frankie hit his ass with the one hit quitter, just like, dude, you're an excellent doctor. You're a mediocre boyfriend. David was trying to hear that shit, y'all. He wasn't trying to hear it. Ultimately, and Dave had even said, like, you know, we were supposed to be working on this working on projects. The whole proposal thing was going to come, and it's like, okay, my dude, you making excuses now. Either you really want that commitment with Dolores or you don't. Okay, and if it's really that serious, hey, he's in the house. Like, oh, I appreciate it, thank you. But if it's really that detrimental to you, bro, why don't you just go ahead and just get you an ironclad prenup? Because I feel like that's the thing where he afraid of losing his assets. But if that's the case, bro, just go ahead and do the prenup and get on with your life. If not, leave Dolores alone. Leave her alone. She already wasted most of her good years. Don't waste the last years that she has to really be, you know, a woman out here doing her thing. Like, let her go. Let her go. So now we at the lake house. Teresa can't stop talking about Jackie. For somebody who don't care about Jackie, who ain't bothered about Jackie, you constantly got Jackie's name in your mouth. But see, what is so hilarious is Jackie in her scene, because she had one scene outside is she hardly brought you up. And when she did, she talked about you in a roundabout way. But you constantly got her name in your mouth. And here's the reality. Andrew Booger Sugar, I don't know how you do these shows, but because Jackie was so heavily featured verbally in this episode, she need to be paid a full rate for this episode. Full rate. Because the way they had her name in her mouth, I mean, hell, she wasn't there, but she should have been. Well, not she should have been, but I mean, damn it, she was almost there. Now, Marge tells them that, you know, Jackie is embarrassed with everything. Teresa says she talked about my situation. Marge says there were pictures. She was commenting on the pictures. Facts. So what Teresa did, she was like, well, you did it to Jennifer, meaning bringing up a false allegation. Now, this is Teresa trying to make something stick, and it's not. And Marge said to her, you're right. I did say something that was derogatory about her husband, because in the moment I said it to hurt her. But within 5 minutes, I went back to her and apologized for it, which she did. And all Jackie wanted, she didn't want an apology. She just wanted you to acknowledge that this shit is fake and it's false. Obviously, you doing this to keep a storyline going. Production told you, we know that. I just want to bring that back up. But okay. And then Teresa says, well, next time her friends will keep her mouth shut. And I guess that was the friend that told her that it was said. But even if her friend that ain't on the show didn't tell her, somebody on the show was going to tell her. Production wasn't going to let this storyline just sink. So she says that. And then she says, Jennifer, next time, don't feed me tequila. And then says, Marge, you know me. You should have made it better. So this is everybody's fault but Teresa. This trout mouth Tyrannosaurus red face whore. Or like how she called Danielle Staub, you prostitution whore. How dare you? I don't know how old she is. I'm gonna say that she probably knocking on the door 50 if she ain't already walked through that door just yet. So you are at an age to where you cannot accept responsibility for anything that you did. It's everybody else's fault but yours. Okay, make it make sense. So Teresa says while they're talking that, you know, Evan is her type, but she don't have a crush on him. Now, what I'm trying to figure out, hold on. So her vixen says, typical Teresa, watermelon sugar. Ooh. Okay, now what did I say watermelon sugar that you said, ooh, at which part? Because I don't even think I'm going in tonight. I went in last week. I don't even think I'm going in that much tonight. I feel like I'm giving them a little light. What did I say? Well, anyway, but she is saying that he's her type, but she ain't got a crush on him. My thing is, if you wanted Evan, I don't think Evan gonna want you after this stunt that you done pulled. Not period. Not the fuck at all. I can't get over that front hairline. Whose front hairline? Because I don't even really be looking at who front hairline. Okay, so we get Jackie. Jackie is with her cheering. She's cutting the boys' hair, something that she got into over quarantine. I ain't finna comment too much on her cutting skills, but let's just say, luckily for them, they in the house. Okay, praise God, hallelujah, thank you. and she's trying to put on a good front for the children with the situation at hand, but also Evan is upset. Now we don't know if Evan has taken it out on her because there's tension between the two of them. Hopefully, Evan, if you're listening to me, Playboy, you better not put your hands on him. Okay. Don't. Let's not do that now. Let's not do that. Okay. I mean, if you upset, go to the boxing ring. I'm about to say go to the gym, but you had trouble going to the gym. Take your ass to the boxing ring. But don't, I ain't saying you did, but don't be putting your hands on nobody. Hey, what's up? What's up? How you? Oh, you talking about Teresa? Okay, look. It's a lot of things Teresa need to fix. And trust me, that hairline is one of them, but that's at the bottom of the list now. So her daughter is there, and she tells her about the trip. Comes up in some ways. She's like, yeah, I was supposed to go, had a backpack, but I didn't go because hey, the women were like, or one person in particular is treating your mom badly, and she pretty much tells her, you don't need to let, because her daughter's at the age where bullying and whatnot happen, and tells her like, you don't have to be around people that put you down and that does wrong by you. You don't have to put up with it. You don't have to accept it. At any point in time, you could back away. Like, my bags are packed and I chose not to go. You don't have to put yourself through that. And you know what? That's some real shit. A roundabout way of talking about the situation, but in such a way that your children can understand it. And it's in these moments that you have to really be aware of what you're doing, because if her children aren't watching the show, they're going to become of age and watch their mom on this show. So you're teaching your child good values. So I appreciate that. So now we get the girls getting ready, and then we have Lexi, who is Marge's friend, Melissa and Marge, and they're upset that Jackie isn't there. Melissa acknowledges that if Teresa and Jackie don't make up, that it will hurt the group. Again, back to Basketball Wives, and even back to some of these other housewife franchise, where you have that one person that is considered the nucleus, and if you don't get along with her, it's going to be a problem. And then the women are going to have to sit back and choose, do we sit here and we side with Teresa, or do we side with Jackie? And for some of the women, see, here you go, blessing me again, and you don't have to. Dang, I'm late. I'm here for glad for the live. Teresa's always out of line. I think her time is up. She's seen too much. Yeah, but if they end up trying to split these girls, the way that I see it happening is, I know Melissa's gonna be on Jackie team, especially what's about to come up next episode. So Jackie will have her. Jennifer is not going to sacrifice. No, Jennifer will be team Jackie only because their kids are in a good place and she don't want to mess that up. Marge is gonna play the middle. Dolores is forever gonna be what is her name? Teresa's bro, just there for support. Am I missing anybody else that is a part of this group? If I am, they ain't that damn important. So we'll see if it happens and how it happens. So the girls go out to dinner. Jackie texts the girls and pretty much says she can't be there. She's sorry. Hopefully they have a good time and have a drink for her. Now, she sent this to all the girls minus Teresa. Teresa mentions that she called Gia and told Gia what happened. Now, I don't know if it's Gia that posted it or if it was somebody that manages her social media. They said something contrary on social media within this last week, but on the show, Gia was saying, you know what? Long story short, you're probably wrong, because if you said something to her and it hurt her and she brought me up, whether it was to hurt you or to make you understand something, you're more than likely wrong. You probably should call her and apologize. Now, I've never done reviews on this show up until now, praise God, because there were times watching this, I wanted to give Gia the blues. I really did. I know a lot of us sat here and had so much to say about Riley on Housewives of Atlanta. I had a lot to say about Gia, but Gia has grown, has matured, and is the voice of reason when it comes to Teresa. And it's messed up that your child, who is somewhere between 18 to 21, is having to sit here and be your moral compass and be your parent. That's fucked up, and that's too much pressure for that little girl. But she spoke some sense to her mama, which she needed to. So then Teresa mentions out of nowhere. Well, no, I'm sorry. No, the girls were talking about if she brought her vibrator. She said no, but then mentions that her Joe, because again, I don't know if they're officially divorced or not, that he is now selling sex toys to make money. Okay, and send her one, and she uses it. Okay. Well, hold on, did I miss something? Someone, anyone help with episode upload? I have no cable. Okay, and so here, look, here's what I'm gonna say to you. And I need for you to listen to me closely, okay? Because I'm gonna click off this and hopefully it don't mess up. But if you want to watch it, type in broken silence with a Z, and so what is it? SILENZE, and I believe it's .1. Type that in. You should be able to catch up on some of these shows. Don't say I ain't never gave you nothing. I never tried to help you. All right. Okay. I don't know why this is okay. This thing is acting crazy, but whatever. So then they talk about Dolores and her relationship. Dolores again, low key. Hold on. That gets me with Teresa. So against bringing kids into it, but Teresa gonna tell Gia like she. Look, well, thank you for the super chat again, and Teresa's a whole fool. That's it. She's just a whole fool, and she does this. And it was even messed up when I believe it was last season with the stuff going on between her and Joe. How she is involved in Gia into this. Look, we know Teresa ain't all the way there, but all right. So Dolores' relationship come up, and all I'm gonna say about that is Dolores is letting y'all know that he fits the bill in many categories, and she ain't letting him go. That's all you need to know about that. So Melissa tells Jen that her nipples are showing through her outfit. And then Jen cracks a joke. I believe it was Martha says, "I'm so happy that you two are getting along." Then Melissa says, what did she say? Am I being self-absorbed? Jen says that, there's nothing wrong with that. Melissa didn't like how she came at her relationship with Joe at the reunion. And then Jen apologizes for what it was that she said. Now, with this, I think we all can agree that if anything, last season, her storyline of wanting to have a child, it was a storyline. It was a storyline that we just needed. She needs Frankie. Yeah, I think Dolores do. I mean, hell, they've been married a long time, and hell, he been staying. Okay, that ain't my business. But anyway, but Melissa has, at least for the last 2 seasons, has had a fabricated storyline. But again, we're not going to pretend like people don't come up with, because I mean, if you don't have nothing crazy going on in your life, you don't. But you also don't want to pass up this real easy, Real Housewives check. Because the real check, and her and what's the girl name? Teresa didn't really have no issues the last 2 seasons. So, okay, if I gotta talk about, freezing my eggs and all this other stuff, cool, got it. Don't really care. So my thing is, if Melissa's upset about that, girl, get over it. Because obviously, because if that's the case, you're carrying this into this season to have a storyline. Whatever, who cares? It's all stupid. Teresa at this point brings back up Jackie. At this point, this woman has for sure rented up a nice chunk of space in your mind. I ain't mad at her trying to get the bag. I ain't mad at her trying to get the bag either. Like, my thing is, okay, I understand if it's a fake storyline, cool. My thing is just let it be entertaining. I would rather look at Melissa sitting here trying to force this baby storyline rather than deal with Jennifer trying to force her family on us. Not her immediate family, her parents, her brothers. Like, I get it, I got it. But come on now. We doing too much, yo. And then she says she didn't do anything wrong when it came to, and this is Teresa talking about Jackie. And then she says, tell Jackie stop crying about it. Again, you got a whole lot to say about Jackie, but you ain't have all of this fever when you was in her face. When you was in her face, and she brought up your daughter, I mean, again, I think her and Evelyn Hosada are, cut from the same home. But when she brought up your daughter, you just said that looking dumb and stuck on stupid. Jennifer, man, don't want that. Ain't my business. But you said that you said that stuck straight on stupid. And all you can say is you can call her a cunt. You couldn't come up with nothing that's cunt. I'm gonna say it because fuck it, this video ain't monetized any damn way. But that's all that you could do. That's it. You couldn't do nothing else, but you got all this smoke for her, and she's not even there. But you ain't got this smoke for her when she around. When she looked you in your face and talk cash money shit the last 2 seasons, you ain't have all that fever for her because you could have been got up, jumped in her face, and pushed flip tables and all this other stuff, but you didn't want to do that. Fact, she didn't want no problem. Her face was definitely cracked, pieces on the floor and everything, jaw to the floor because she ain't had nothing to say. Absolutely nothing. And again, on both women's sides, I don't see how neither one of them swung on the other one. Let's keep it a buck right here. She talked about her husband and spreading a lie. And again, it ain't even just that. You spread a lie, it's going to impact his business, it's going to impact her business, it's going to impact the kids. And not just that, you do it at the man's birthday party while he's trying to hook you up with somebody. Oh, on GP, I wouldn't have been mad if Jackie would have came unhinged and just gave it to her. Just gave her a $20 fill up. Just gave her all the sides and the fixes. And then with Teresa, look, again, granted, we all could y'all can tease. You love you always. I appreciate it. Y'all know I'm just here to cut the food. I'm giving y'all this last little light before I disconnect and watch the Salt Lake City girls. But I'm just saying. But even with Teresa, she brought up your daughter. If it's really fighting words, do it. And then Dolores is saying how how we grew up. You mentioned somebody's kids, you finna get attacked. But look, Dolores, I got it that you got your girl back. I got it. But guess what? Your girl, because she kept saying she better be happy that she left alive. Sweetheart, Jackie didn't get up and leave. Your friend tucked her tail in between her legs and couldn't come up with no good comeback but to see you next Tuesday. She the one that ran and got up in her car and drove off. Because what Jackie said, I got the life that you want. I went. Give her the trophy. Give her the trophy. And look, real talk, if Jackie don't come to fuck back on this show for like another 5 episodes, she'd already made her money. She gave it to Teresa. That's it. But see, what Teresa finna have me messed up at is she finna sit here and, for the most part, rat on Melissa, saying that she been texting some guy that they was at a restaurant with. So, and this is one of those where, so Teresa, you ain't happy. So you don't want nobody else to be happy. Okay. And because that's going to be the only review I got next week, I might get Teresa to business because I gave her a little light. Robert C. She really being says me. Robert C. was here for the shit. I didn't even got to. So she watching the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. I ain't even got to it yet. It's actually about to go up, but that's cool. It's on the DVR. I'm about to hit it back. But yeah, y'all. That was it. That was the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I mean, they didn't really give me 32 minutes worth of stuff, but I stressed it out for y'all. I love y'all. I have to come through in the clutch. Let's see. As big as Teresa's mouth is, she didn't want the smoke. She backpedaled, got scared. She got real. And look, and the thing is, even with her, again, thank you for the super chat, sweetheart. But even with her coming at her like that, here's the funny thing: Jackie didn't even read her all the way down. Jackie just hit her with the facts. That's it. Like, how they talking about hinting with the kitchen sink. That's exactly what Teresa got hit with. Again, she left, stunned and confused. Didn't have nothing to say. But again, I'm here for it, and I'm probably going to end up watching episode 1 back again before I go to bed tonight. Just that little piece. When I tell you, I played that piece back about a good 5 times last week before I went to bed, because that was everything. That was everything. That gave me all the life that I ever needed in the world. But thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Just a reminder, myself and Really BTV and Lil Baby will be pretty much doing a live review / recap of New Jersey, and we will also talk about Salt Lake City in that. So it'll be live on her channel at 6:30 Pacific, or is it Eastern? Whatever. It's 5:30 Central, my damn time. But we gonna be over there. We gonna cut the food. Y'all know I like to cut the food. Period. I really try to save all my acting up for over here. But yeah, catch me over there, Salt Lake City. Depending on what they get, I'm probably, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna come back to y'all live just so I can get it done and just be done with it. Alexandria, thank you for liking our videos. Like I said, and we all got different temperaments, different personalities. I'm a little bit, off the wall, but that's okay. Y'all love me for it. But yeah, so that's all that I have. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And if all goes well, I'll probably be back on here in an hour and a half, depending on how much they give me. I don't know, but you'll see it. And I'll probably put the link for it up. I'll schedule it maybe like 10 minutes ahead of time of when I'm going to record. So that's all that I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all for the next video. Peace out.